Hey guys, it's Jack here, and today I'm going to be covering a topic that it's been heavily asked a lot about. A lot of people, right, they come to me, Challenger Draven OTP, I peaked top 20 this season. I got Challenger last season. A lot of people have been asking me, how do you team fight with Draven? And in this video, I'll try to explain the most important things you need to keep in mind while playing him in team fights. But before I start the video, I just want to give a quick thank you to u.gg for sponsoring this video. u.gg is a build site where you can essentially look up builds, rune pages, you can see there's a pro builds tabs, you can look at counter matchups, you can look at matchups, you can do so much with it. And I think it's a great tool, and I heavily recommend you use it, especially if you don't know exactly what you should be building. It's just a nice place where you can get everything you need. Link is down in the description, down below. But that's it, let's get into the video. Now, first of all, I want to say that team fighting is one of the hardest parts of League of Legends in general. Just out of everything you need to do in League, team fighting, I think it's the hardest, and it's definitely the part of League that if you look at pro play, you see such a big difference between pro play team fighting and even challenger solo queue. It's like, holy shit, there is so much that can be done when it comes to team fighting. And why it's so hard is it requires a lot of awareness and also very good mechanics to pull off. And especially with Draven, once you get out into the later team fights, you have a lack of mobility, and you also don't have much to peel yourself, and you also don't have very long range. While a lot of other ADCs, like Lucian for example, maybe doesn't have range, but he has a very easy dash, you can dodge things pretty easily. But with Draven, you need to play very clear and concise. Now, with Draven in team fights, you need to be extremely comfortable in catching your axes. Most of you probably think you already are. I know probably most of you guys, you're Draven OTPs, you feel like you're really comfortable with the axes. But in an ideal team fight, you want every auto attack you do to be an empowered axe auto. So feel free to look at your replays of your team fights and just look at how many axes do you have. Because chances are, if you're plat or below, you're missing a lot of damage just because you're not controlling the axes well enough. And this leads me into my second point that I think maybe some people will think sounds a bit contradictory, but it's really important to be able to drop your axes. Now I know. This isn't, you can't just excuse yourself dropping axes and being like, oh, but I shouldn't catch that anyways. But you need to kind of be critical of your axes, because sometimes you don't want to catch the axe because it'll put you in a shit position, right? If you're completely binded to your axes, then you will be very predictable and really easy to punish. You need to be aware what position catching this axe will put you in. Can the enemy hit a skill shot if I catch that axe? Am I losing a positional advantage catching this axe? Etc, etc. There are so many things to think about when you're catching an axe. And I think something that I read that really, I think, resonates with me, and I think a lot of League players should know, is that you don't want to be controlled by your axes. You want to control your axes. In team fights, you want to make the axes go where you want to go, not go where the axes go. Because if you go where the axes go, then you're super fucking predictable. While if you go wherever the fuck you want and your axes stay along, then suddenly you aren't that predictable anymore, and you can do a lot better plays, and you're a lot better team fighter. Because when Draven is really predictable, most champions in this meta, and most champions just in the game in general, have a lot of stuff to kill you, and if you're predictable, you're pretty easy to kill. And it's things like these that are important to keep in mind to improve. The second thing is when you need to swap from hitting the front line to getting onto the back line. With Draven, a lot of the montage plays, like the big dick Draven plays, you'll see a Draven flashing in, killing the enemy squishies, then kiting the enemy tanks. Now, if executed well, you can kill everyone and everything. However, if done wrong, you just look like an absolute mong who just got a $20 PayPal donation from the enemy AD. So, a ton of skill expression lies here. So now that I've said this, I know a lot of you guys are probably wondering, Jackspektra, when do we swap? When do we flash in? And I gotta tell you guys, a lot of that lies in experience. You need to know how much damage you do, and also how much damage the tanks do, how much damage the enemy carries do. Like how much are we talking here? And a big part of this as well is tracking cooldowns. cooldowns in a team fight are so crucial, and especially when it comes to Draven, because if they have like a fed assassin, I know a lot of people, they come to me, they come to my stream, right? They're saying, yo, I get fed, but then the enemy, whatever, just one-shots me every team fight. And let's say they have a fed Zed. Zed's only way to kill you is with his ult. So how do you win the fight? You wait for him to ult someone else. Or you make him ult so badly, like you play so far behind, that if he ults into you, you'll have 5 teammates all piling up on him and give him a gold old bukake, right? Just fuck him. You get my point. So keeping track of the enemy cooldowns is absolutely crucial if you want to be able to swap from the tanks to the squishies. So if you're new to Draven, or if you don't feel that comfortable swapping that aggro, you know, if you don't feel that comfortable flashing in, that's okay. Just don't flash in. You know, it's a lot better to not flash in and maybe miss a potential kill than to flash in and just single-handedly lose the fight. You need to be pretty comfortable to do it, and that's why there's such a high skill ceiling for this, because even there's a ton of opportunities for me to play the team fights better and get onto people and stuff that I don't take because I don't really see it, because I'm, you know, even me, I have stuff to improve on there. And I'd say this is the same for every single player. Like, the highest caliber of players make big mistakes in team fights because it's just, there's so many opportunities and there's so much skill expression. So if you're not comfortable, that's completely fine. The standard rule of thumb is hitting the closest target to you. It's pretty simple and it works pretty well, and especially at lower elos, it's what you should do, because trying to do stuff that's too hard when you're not ready for it will just make you lose LP, make you lose motivation, and make you that you never get up there. Maybe some of you guys are thinking, oh, but if I don't practice it, I won't get better at it. But this isn't really the case here, because if you continuously practice at it and you just int, you're just gonna feel like you can never do it. While if you wait until you're actually comfortable enough to do it, then you'll have way better results. Trust me. Now, another thing you need to keep in mind while team fighting is items, right? This sounds pretty obvious, but especially with Draven, it comes in handy realizing what items you have, also what items the enemy team have. Actives are a big part. If they have Zonias, if they have GA, if they have QSS, all these things matter to who you should target, and if you can flash in. If the enemy AD has a stopwatch or a GA, flashing in to kill the enemy AD, probably not such a good idea. Conversely, if you have a stopwatch or a GA, flashing in becomes a lot safer and a lot better of a play. You know, you don't take that risk of just getting blown up immediately when you flash in. And another thing that you need to keep in mind that's pretty specific to Draven is rapid fire cannon versus PD. Sometimes I will go PD. Now, most of the time I've been doing rapid fire, and with Draven, poking with this while team fighting and also outside of the team fights, but just right before the team fight starts, poking with the rapid fire cannon is so crucial and adds to your damage so much. Getting a crit rapid fire auto and just immediately flashing in and one-shotting the enemy AD is really important. So a lot of the time, once you want to turn on the AD is when you have your rapid fire up, because then you can just get an auto attack out of their range and then just flash on them and kill them in 3 autos and 2 autos. But if you don't have that rapid fire up, suddenly they get to jump away, they get to use whatever, because it takes 1 more auto attack because you had to get in range first with your flash. But yeah, that's pretty much been it for this video, guys. I hope you guys learned something. I hope you guys will improve your team fighting with Draven, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you guys so much for 13,000 subs. Not a specific milestone, I just felt like thanking you. And yeah, I hope you guys will tune in for the next video. I know I haven't been streaming that much recently. I've been playing a lot of not Draven, actually. Been playing up an account. It's currently D5 with an 75% win rate, something like that. I don't know what the fuck it is. But yeah, I've been doing that, so I haven't really been streaming, but I'll try to stream more. The link is down in the description below, twitch.tv/Jackspektra. Love it if you checked me out, and thank you guys so much for watching this video. Love you guys, bye!